Nobody likes hypocrisy, so let's draw our attention to Rachel Reeves, shall we? In 2012, she put a tweet out when it was a Tory government. Don't think I've ever been so close to tears as I was at surgery today, feeling angry at government welfare reforms that so hurt very ill people. You see, I didn't get it. I thought welfare cuts were bad. Whoever put them in. Apparently, if Rachel puts them in, they're not hurty. No, that's all right. But if the Tories put them in, that's no good. Today, Isabel Oakeshott writes in the Telegraph, "Don't be deceived by those lovely Cotswolds. The UK is in a terrifying decline." She writes this in the Telegraph, basically saying that in London, she's obviously referring to the amount of vagrants, homeless people, beggars in the street, knife crime, pickpockets, brutal thefts. People are being stopped in the street by experienced gangs having their mobile phones nicked. A lad, 24, was murdered, just had a young baby as well, for his Rolex outside a Knightsbridge hotel that people use when they come to London for business. If you can't see that London is in decline, where are you looking? It's not a place I ever want to go to. Because obviously there are pockets of Britain that are just fine, like where I live and possibly where you live. But it seems to me the bigger cities are in decline, your Manchesters, your Birminghams, the rest. And why is that, do you think? Because that's where they dump all the people they expect us to live with. They just dump them in these places, eating into social housing. So there isn't really a housing crisis. There's an immigration crisis that causes all the other crises. It's that simple. And we've got a wet lettuce in Keir Starmer who isn't doing anything about it. Believe it or not, even this deal with Macron is considered pushing the boundaries when it's shite. I couldn't be any clearer. What we should be doing is don't meet the French vessels. The French vessels are in French water. The people are perfectly safe once they're abroad. Those bigger ships, those frigates and different ones picking them up. Leave them there. They're not at risk. Until France gets the message, we're not picking them up. It's that simple. That's your first deterrent. Leave the ECHR. Do something about it. Process offshore. Australia didn't. Australia did it. Nobody called Australia racist, did they? So there's a multitude of things going on, which is why we have to push back. Because believe it or not, that crappy deal with France is actually a sign of the British public's discontent and Keir Starmer having to do something. It wasn't on the cards when he came to office, including that immigration part. Yes, the stupid state visit that nobody cares about, some silly little shuffler in Cuban eels that's as determined to drip feed globalism into his own nation as Keir Starmer is to ours. They're your enemies. We shouldn't be fighting each other about who's the best candidate to put forward, who's the best one. Just get the vehicle that's got the infrastructure, the quickest one that can react to elections, get a candidate up and take control away. That's what we have to do. Because this is our last chance in 2029. And we're doing so well with the pushback, it would be a shame to let go now. Because we are making an enormous effect in all sorts of little areas that make globalism even harder to install. One of the biggest things we have to fight, and it is the number one, it's not the boats. The biggest thing we have to fight is digital ID and leading to central bank digital currency. The reason? You won't be fighting anything if you don't fight that. You won't be fighting the little boats. You won't be able to say anything about immigration. It will be immaterial. But like trying to talk to Facebook about getting your page back. You've nowhere to go because it's all automated and nobody wants to know you. That's where we're heading. That's the drawback to it. So this is why we have to fight. We have to choose our battles, and the biggest battle is stopping this globalisation, digital ID leading to central bank digital currency, because if we don't stop that, we aren't fighting anything. We aren't fighting hikes in rates, we're not fighting taxes, we're not fighting inheritance tax for farmers and small businesses. We won't have a voice in anything. They have the voice, they have the control. They can shut you up by not paying you your money once it gets as far as central bank digital currency. So that's why I go on about it. I don't favour reform because they're my favourite. I favour reform because I think they're the only vehicle that's up and bloody running. And to starting other things now, there just isn't the sodding timescale to get. You need 350 candidates to win an election. It's not easy. getting candidates. People don't want to take the risk because once you stand for a right-wing party, your life changes. So at least you've got to go for a party that's getting loads and loads of publicity on the media, that's got wealthy backers, that's got a decent party size, and that's got some clout. And I think controlling 10 councils gives you some bloody clout. It's that simple. It's not favouritism. I'm not doing this because I'm some shill. I'm not doing this because I want more clicks. I'm not trying to make out dramatic things are happening in Reform. There's nothing dramatic happening other than people that join Reform aren't what they pretend to be. And then they leave and start crabbing at Reform. You are never going to get perfection from any politician, accept what they've got on offer, because for me, even if Nigel Farage gets half the things right that he's claimed, this country will be in a damn sight better place than it's been for 15 years. It's that simple. So it's not favouritism. I'm looking at things like in Wales, the Somalian community leader, does that even correlate? The Somalian community leader in Wales is insisting that GCSEs are in Somali language. Right, okay, so you pass your GCSE in Somali, where are you going to work where they all speak Somali? Somalia. Why don't you take your bloody exams there? Why do you come into our education system? And if, this isn't made up, this is Wales Online, so I'm not making it up. I think Wales is going down the pan. I don't know what happened to you, Wales. You just turn out such fine people like Shirley Bassey and Tom Jones. So it is, I can't believe it's here in Wales. Wanting exams. I mean, if ever you thought of turning to drink, now's the time. Now's the time. People are going to be able to pass exams. I mean, who's going to mark them? Who's going to mark exams in Somali? That's Wales. Wales is gone, man. Wales is gone. I mean, how they've let this country go down the pan. 20-mile-an-hour speed limits on trunk roads. Your ice cream will go off, let alone anything coming from overseas. 20-mile-an-hour. How can you function at 20 mile an hour? I could understand it round a school, but not on great stretches of trunk road. Wales. And, they've put the second home tax up so much, everybody's selling, so prices have come down. But there's that much unemployment, people still can't afford to buy old houses. They're bonkers. Anyway, I've been having a bit of an argy-bargy with somebody on Twitter. Jake Berry, who used to be the Conservative MP for Blackburn and Darwen, he's, defected to the Reform Party. Sir Jake Berry it is. I met him once. It was a bit of a do. It was a Tory do. It used to make me laugh because they used to invite me. They didn't know I weren't a member. Because they were doing all that stuff for Brexit. So they never dreamed of a never joint party. So they said, would you like to come? I thought, that's all right. Yeah, I'll come to that. So I met loads of them at the time. He's all right, don't get me wrong. Very pleasant, very intelligent. But, you got round, this is June. She's a blogger from Facebook. And I said, oh, yeah, you voted to Remain, didn't you? I just stared at him, typical northern bluntness. And he went, yes, I did. I went, big mistake. And he went, yes, it was, which took me by surprise. He said, yes, I got it wrong, June. He said, now's the time to get it done and make it a success. He said, I'm the first one to say that it's the electorate's vote that counts. So I thought, well, fair enough. I'm not going to hold it. You had a free vote. If you believe in democracy, that's up to him to vote how he wants. His area was... Sorry about the dogs. And he immediately started working towards Brexit. He's not got everything right. I don't think he's an ideal person. But what I look at here is people are going on, another Conservative. Weren't we all Conservatives? I'm talking small c. I'm talking not left-wing, not believing in the big state, because that's the reason I voted for the Conservatives, not because I'd ever join a party or become a Tory. I believe in small c conservatism. We're all small c Conservatives who have nowhere to put our vote until something else came along. So I don't hold it against former Tories that leave the party to make a different decision. What I don't like is the ones that stay in the party that pretend to be conservative, like Kemi and Jenrick. They're still in there. They're still in there. There's only one reason they're in there, and that's to save the sorry arse of the Tory party. Because if they weren't, imagine a landscape where all these people that are making these videos, like Jenrick and Kemi, said, no, I'm sorry, let's face reality, you're done. We're off to reform. Imagine if they all did that. You instantly get your Suella Bravemans, the ones that voted for Brexit, the ones that still have a seat. You'd immediately get them coming across, and what a bloody statement that would make. Nobody would be sorry to see that, but they won't. They'll stick with the Tories. Another question I have, maybe someone can answer it. Why hasn't Rupert joined Ben's party? Why is he silent? Why has he never mentioned it? I'm hoping it's not because he's waiting for the Tories to invite him back, because he is a Tory by nature. We don't know, but I will not support the Tories in any way, shape or form, no matter what they say, no matter who they roll out. They are done, as far as I'm concerned. You make your own mind up. But if they believed in conservatism, they had 14 years to put it right. They could have held on to power. They could have stopped the boats immediately. There's offshore processing already in legislation. They could have started then. Imagine if they'd let the election time out to its normal era, another few months of government, and made some real changes that Jenrick talks about. Imagine if they'd done that. What a different landscape we'd have. Anyway, I'll leave that with you. It's a no from me for anybody connected to the Tory party. Leave, dump the badge, you're only in the same position as me. You want conservatism. Though I never really had the badge, I never joined. That's just my view. I will never trust the Tories. They're the reason we sit where we sit. Starmer is just milking it dry. They're all their laws, hate speech laws, net zero, all theirs. So I cannot support that. Not people who bring in hate speech laws and then never decry them after that point. Think of Lucy Connolly. No thanks, never again.